hostile foreign nation had a mothership of drones over here, and they're pretty much scoping out President Trump's pad. Why aren't we taking action? Why aren't we doing something? And just what the hell in general here, Colonel? This is some wild stuff. The enemy's on our front door doing stuff like this, and we're doing nothing.
It is wild stuff, Dan. This is a national security crisis, and not something for the FBI that doesn't have, quote, intelligence.
Thank you.
Sources for this. Mr. Trump's location, his golf club there and his home there, keep in mind, he told the Ayatollah, I know where you live, and if you're not careful after the Soleimani takedown, we'll come after you. And so this is tit for tat to a certain degree, I would argue, if in fact these are Iranian. What people need to appreciate is that Iran is flooded with drones. Thousands were made this year. They have drones that can travel 1,000+ miles, as we saw in attacks against Israel in October as well as in April. They have drones they've given to the Russians for use in Ukraine. They've used them against our ships in the Red Sea, Hezbollah, Hamas. They used them against our soldiers at Tower 22 in Jordan, January of this year, and killed 3 and wounded more than 40. Iran is out for blood. It understands that when Mr. Trump comes into office, that they're going to be in trouble, to say the least. They're probably going to not sell as much oil to the Chinese that they have for the last 4 years. They're probably going to get a raft of new sanctions imposed on them, and they're going to be the pariah of that entire region for good reasons. And of course, they're feeding the Chinese and the Russians and North Koreans and others with things that are not very helpful to us. So, if it's true that Iran has a mothership offshore in international water, if they're sending these high-powered drones, of which they've been developing for about 40 different years, then it's quite possible that, it's time to take them down. Now,
we understand that Joe's out to lunch and Kamala's at home licking her wounds after the big loss. But y'all are still the president and vice president. You still have to keep us safe and do your damn jobs for 40, 41 more days. Okay? So if a foreign hostile government is sending drones over here to spy, and I heard it wasn't just over Trump's property, but possibly military bases too, right, Colonel? So if they're sending them over here, and we're not even acknowledging as administration, the governor did, members of Congress did, the media and locals that live there are like, I see the drones. Where's the president, where's the vice president coming out to the podium and saying, we're looking into it. If this is Iran, there's going to be hell to pay. I'm not hearing anything from the current regime. Are you?
No, they're asleep at the switch. And unfortunately, they've checked out. And of course, they've seen Mr. Trump be proactive across the international stage, but he doesn't control the Pentagon yet. These are the people that called for death of America for many, many years. They have at least 12 different models of combat and surveillance drones. And of course, they have 10 different models of suicide drones. That's what I'm more concerned about. They just do reconnaissance and fly over and send a very clear message that you Americans are very vulnerable, and we are. The reality is we don't have a triple canopy air defense system like the Israelis do, and therefore can knock down ballistic missiles and drones. What we don't have is that, and as a result, these drones can make us into mincemeat if in fact they were lethal.